Hi, I'm Jamie McAllister, and this is my UI redesign for Civ 7. On the main menu, the main difference is I made this a lot bigger. It was like really small and hidden up here for some reason. I also took some of the buttons and made them icons in the top right instead. You can see I have the hover things on each of them, and we'll go in here. I also made this loading screen quickly over the past week there, just because I felt like it didn't flow too well without it. Here we have a wee pop-up, which I redesigned to make like a nice wee fancy style to it, and the display only like the important information you need, so like the wee tutorial. Close that. So I took a lot of stuff off the HUD because I felt it was a bit too crowded in the main game, and kept only like the necessary stuff. So over here I've got the wee journal, it's like the wee tutorial. You can toggle that, and then the actual meal is like the main part, um, and then the pause menu as well. And then I'll showcase the restart button. Yeah, it brings it back here. And everything works. The resume works. The rest just bring it back here. Retire brings you back to the main menu, but I won't do that because we'll have to restart. And then the action wheel is a main button. You can see it changes to display like a new logo. So like that's to show that the city needs production. Click on it and it opens up the production menu. Um, Here I wanted to separate the buttons from the like dividers because in the main game the dividers are basically the same as the buttons, which makes it like a bit harder to flow between. Cognitive flow is a bit heavier in the original, so I wanted to lighten that. I think I've done alright with that. If we go just click on the button, you can see the hover state also changes the color to make it more obvious what you're hovering on. That's an issue in the main game as well. Go ahead and choose one. Now you can see what your production is. Originally it was up here and it wasn't obvious at all compared to the previous games. So I wanted to make that clear. And then if we just continue again, this is the government screen, where you choose a government. I originally did have it when you hover. I'll show you. These boxes like pop up, but I just could not get that to work. So I done it as a separate screen just to get it in, which is disappointing. But I think it still works a little okay with this, because it still gives you the information, and you can obviously go back as well. So it's still okay. Let me go in, choose them, and then we're in the new screen again. And you can see it's like we've progressed a little bit, and we've got another pop up. Let me just continue going. This is another type of pop up, which is when you discover another player. So it gives you some really fun facts about their civ, and then it also tells you like important information highlighted that will actually like contribute to your gameplay. And if we close that, we can open up the next screen, and it brings you to the player screen. And this is where you can choose like how to like interact with the person. It had the same issues as the production menu. It wasn't that bad in the original. It did like have a little difference. Um, I actually think it's probably my favorite menu because I think it's actually way more clean than the production one. I wish it spent more time with the color and stuff in the production. This one I'm actually quite proud of. Also, I done what Matthew said to me and make sure this was obvious enough and like differentiated enough from the original because these buttons were originally over here. But these are two important buttons, so after his feedback, I moved it over here, which I think actually works way better. So I'm glad I listened. And that is all my main screens for the game. Thank you. Alright, it's just a quick video covering my documentation of playtests. So I had two playtests. The first one I got two people to play, and then today I only got one person, unfortunately. I did make one change off of the feedback. I'll go over here. So first I asked about I sorry, I accidentally overwrit the first playtest, so the question is slightly different. So you will see like other, which is from the previous playtest, but the questions are kind of similar anyway. So start off, did the UI flow cleanly between screens, to make sure everything was smooth and all. And I got three yeses, which is good. Um, and then I asked, did every core button work as expected? So like all the buttons that I programmed, like the continue, the action rail and stuff, and I got yes from that. The other is from my previous question, which was asking did the color of the color change and theme work well with the changes I made, and was it of a good quality? Um, and both of them said yes, which was good because I did think I had some issues with the coloring, but overall I'm happy enough. And then I asked, were you given enough information to progress, or were you lost at any stage? And I did get one response, saying they got lost occasionally, and they said it isn't because of the text, but that is something I could maybe have worked on to make the text a little bit more clear, even. Maybe it wasn't obvious enough. Hey, like you need to read this to understand where to go. Because I'm sure if they had civic experience playing Civ, they probably would have known. But an issue is onboarding for players, so I definitely could have took that into account more. And then I also got feedback on the extra thoughts. I don't like the map being slightly transparent, so it looks harder to look at where it is. Um, so originally, I'll show you. Originally, this here, this whole HUD had a little opacity to turn down because like I thought this was nicer, like being see through. But after that feedback, I went and I put the opacity full to see it, and I do agree with them. It probably is better just because of the hexagon, the detailed style of Civ 7, for it to be not see through, not transparent. And that's my playback testing. Thank you.